oh, it's good. I want to leave. I'm not ready to go right now. So I'm good. I'm good. I'm good.
Gratitude space
Kabisa.
all around.
Kabisa.
Yeah.
Yes.
I know we are about to get into a very deep
And
conversation.
the way I'm looking innocent over here.
Naona umetuletea hapa mafuta sijui ni ya nini, but you will explain to us.
Yes.
But anyone who is catching you for the very first time, maybe looking at that camera, could you please introduce yourself?
Hi, our viewer. My name is Caro, your health coach. And some people call me Auntie of Sweetness or Tata wa Mureo.
Yes.
And I am a naturopathic health coach. And I look at how we can leverage on nature and how to use it to prevent and manage diseases. Up and above that, I teach about sexual and reproductive health. And this is home. This is where we learn much, much, much more.
Yeah.
So I'm happy to be back.
Karibu home.
Asante.
Karibu Sema Box.
Oh, yeah. Wow.
Yeah,
it's beautiful.
So you met your classmates here.
You know?
Hey, what are you?
Anyways. The university,
The what? The university.
The university.
The university is JKUAT. We all know that. The university is JKUAT. But Caro, karibu sana.
Asante.
I love that we are having conversations around sex
yes.
or sexual reproductive. I love that these conversations are now not a taboo.
Yeah.
When you look back at how far we've come as a community, what do you think about these subjects?
First of all, I'm very, 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 very proud of you. You remember when we discussed and I was like, Aline, are you that bold? Are you ready for this?
Yes.
Because this is a conversation that for the longest time we have pretended that it should not be spoken about in public. And the more we have shunned it away, the more we've had so many different consequences. When I started talking about sex, the first thing was, even some of my family members were like, oh, Jehovah God, we need kwalia. You know, they were really embarrassed. And at some point they realized it's not about, the sex is not the problem. And the society is now awakened. Maybe few of us have refused to awaken to it, but we are awakened to know that the basis of everything is sex. And sex is not bad to talk about. And sexual and reproductive health is so broad, so broad. We are not just talking, you know, I feel like at some point, I don't know about the other religions, but Christianity, we made it feel it's a sin, it's a bad thing, it's all these things. But now that we are awakening to it, to see all the aspects of sex, we are being able to appreciate it and to appreciate where we come from. But if we go back to just the basic, the raw part, where did we come from? Were it not for that sex, we would not have been here. So it's important for us to talk about it so that we can even have these conversations with our children. I am a mother. I started this conversation with my daughter when she was 6 because they know more than we think that they know. She keeps laughing at me. I tell her that when we were growing up, if my mother would have imagined I've talked to a boy, she would even beat me up. And she's like, why? She's like, because I was explaining to her that when we were growing up, we were being told sex is bad, you will get pregnant. We were not even being told about anything else. But for her, when we have this conversation, she really engages me. And I'm like, oh, wow, I wish we as parents now, we can start these conversations as early because they know. And if you don't teach them some of these things, then they grow up to be the broken human beings, the narcissists, the marriages that are not working, the relationships that are broken. I've watched so many different people having mental health issues. And then when we go down to the basics, we realize sex had a part of it.
Oh, really?
Sex had something to play about it. And maybe, hopefully, by the end of this show, we'll see what are some of the social effects of sex, mental effects of sex, psychological, the different effects of sex or lack of sex.
All right. I want to get started because before we can go on what happens to your body when you stop having sex, that means you had started having sex in the first place, right?
Yes.
So allow me to ask, why is sex important and why do human beings start having, I know it's a cliche question to ask, but why is it that we get to an age or a place as human beings where we start to have sex?
First of all, it's not just human beings, even animals have sex. We all have sex.
Okay.
And it's there.
So then do chickens have sex?
Yeah. Yes.
No, imenikujia tu. Chicken they have sex, so
yes,
they
the
can
cock
get
is
mayai.
always running after the hen, and then she then runs. That's
something
sex.
I've not seen. I've seen the cock run.
They cannot taga mayai without the sex. Yes.
But where are their reproductive areas? You see,
I think we need a chicken.
It's like, moving on swiftly. No,
it's right.
Unajua nimefikiria mayai, like I can see a kuku taga mayai.
Yes.
I see the cock running after it.
Yes.
But I have never known where they are.
It picks the hen here.
Is it
just
here?
No, it just it's the situation, the
Guys,
position.
You can also help us
positioning.
Find out. Let's move.
No, it's behind.
Oh,
okay, you are not a cheeky child. Some of us really were cheeky. We checked.
I am cheeky. I'm just, my imagination is, it's, Carol, let's go back to why do people and animals,
yes.
Human beings are animals also.
Yes.
Why do we start having sex?
One, it's hormones. It's hormonal. Mm-hmm. For you to have the feelings, to the thoughts, all these things, it's hormonal. It's not like a cup. You see, this cup doesn't have hormones.
Yes.
So whenever you want to have sex, okay, when you get to teenagehood, your body changes and the body starts giving those two excitement hormones. Mm-hmm. That is when, as the breasts are developing. Actually, I was learning something very interesting that between 6 and around 9, the baby girl wants to explore what the dad has. She wants to sit here. Yes.
No way.
The boy will start peeping on the mom. Have you ever seen a child who is trying to see what the mom has?
Are we for real?
Yes. It is only that it is very far, but that happens. That is, the curiosity starts at that point. The adventure starts at that point. And then now when you're a teenager, now the hormones start producing the estrogen in a girl, and she's feeling like she needs to be appreciated. She's like wondering, my breasts are growing. And she feels like if someone touches, she's like, okay, that feels different. And for the boys, they start getting an erection. A boy can get an erection as early as when they are a baby. When you're bathing your child, you should actually, traditionally, I think in my tradition, a grandmother used to hold a baby when he was naked, play with the baby, but play with the penis to see if it will erect, because it should be able to erect. Mm-hmm. So an erection for a boy starts far much early. Maybe as girls, the feelings come in far much later.
Yeah.
But why we start having sex is one, exploration. Some of us, the teenagers, that's why we really have to talk to the teenagers, because if they don't know some of these facts, they will go and try them. When we were growing up, we were told, first of all, the younger children, when they're around 10, they want to see, what is your susu? But your susu doesn't look like my susu. So why is it different? Exploration, curiosity, adventure, and they're asking us themselves. Yeah. Then when you get to teenage, you are like, I am feeling something. Mm-hmm. When I come close to a boy, that is when we have crushes. You get your crush when you're in class 4 or 5, and you're like, this boy, you're like,
this is not my friend.
And these days they're having crushes younger. Yeah. I have I think a 4-year-old neighbor who I really love, that baby girl, and she already says she likes this person or she likes this, and I'm like, oh my God, at 4, I didn't know. So the evolution is changing. Mm-hmm. So when the hormones are ignited and then the girl is touched by the boy and they start noticing they are different, then the attraction starts coming in. Then you start producing and releasing hormones like oxytocin. Oxytocin is the love hormone, the serotonin, the melatonin, the dopamine, and you feel good when you think about it. Actually, most of the young men I'm treating now with masturbation, they tell me they started at 10 or even before.
What now?
Because they touched themselves and they felt something good and they wanted to keep doing it. And then you would imagine at 10, you wouldn't even imagine that they know what that is. But it's out of curiosity that they touched themselves and they felt good about it. Mm-hmm. So when you release the dopamine, you feel a high, you get a high and you want to do it again and again and again.
Okay.
So if you are lucky that you skipped that stage as a teenager and you didn't have sex and then everyone is talking about it, there's another category of people who will have sex now for reproduction. Mm-hmm. When now I'll have sex when I get married. And it is very okay. We are not here to say because you skipped that, now you are not a whole person. So there are those people who start sex out of curiosity, out of adventure. Then there are those who purposely start to have sex because they feel, I got the right person, I got married, I want to reproduce. Yes.
Okay.
So it's more of the inside more than the outside. However, unfortunately, there are people who are introduced to sex through sexual abuse. I'm one of those people. I was sexually abused when I was 10 years old. And so I actually did not know what happened to me. I remember the bleeding, the pain, and all these things. But I got to know when I was 13, when I joined high school, and girls were talking about sex. And I was like, so what is sex? And they told me it's when a man does this. And I was like, oh, that is what happened to me 2 years ago. So there are those others who will be introduced to sex by either people who are grown up or someone their age. And they actually say that the people who introduce us to sex sometimes are our cousins. Most cousins are the ones who introduce us to sex.
Exploration.
The exploration stage. So it's also very important to have these conversations about what are you doing with your cousin? Because if you have a bigger cousin, they'll teach you how to do it.
Oh, shit.
And remember, there's no one who was born with a manual on how to have sex. There's no one. Even myself, I don't know. You learn your own. And you might find my experience is totally different from yours. So we are just here to compare notes. Yes.
Oh.
We are here to compare notes. So please feel free to bring out your notes.
Yeah. Tell us on the comment section how you are introduced.
Even your notes you can bring.
Yeah. On how me.
Yes.
You want to know what?
No, I'm joking.
You want to know
Not even how, but
hi, Carol. I was watching.
What is our experiences?
Yes.
What are our experiences? There's no perfect experience. There's no.
I think for me it was curiosity because people are talking about it left, right, and center.
Yes.
And you feel like you are the one who is being left behind, right?
Yes.
Again, the society does not emphasize. Again, that's why I say we should have this conversation even with our kids, and we must tell them being left out is not bad at all, because I think a lot of people lose their ways on that exploration stage where I know current scholar, they are doing it. So I want to go and do it so that I know how it feels. And then after you do it, you are like, ata ikuwa tamu. Like, why do people say ni tamu and it's not tamu?
Yes.
And you know, as you're doing it now, you just want to, it's like your mind is focused on utamu iko wapi, utamu iko wapi, and then you feel there is nothing there.
And also at that point, you are really scared. You've just reminded me when I joined Form 1, I didn't have breasts, neither did I have hips. And my girls had hips and breasts. And I was like, so guys, how do we get them? And they told me it's because you've not been touched by a boy.
Oh, wait, that's what they told you?
Yes.
Us, because again, the same pressure. So what we used to do, you know, the river, there are jororis. So you touch a jorori and then you put it on the... You did? You put it on the 2 ... And then you let it bite you. And then now this... What?
God have mercy. Yeah, we did that and it fell. And the boys would let it bite the penis.
For real?
Yes.
You guys had jorori biting you? For real?
Yes. So the experiment was they wanted their penis to grow big, so they would take the njorori and let it bite and they would swell.
Now you see?
Yes.
You see why I'm saying we really need to have these
conversations because I remember I was really stressed that I was not looking like... back then, PNG used to come to schools and give us like a small booklet. They were teaching us always about growing up. And they used to draw a girl looking like this. But I was like this.
Oh.
So I was really stressed.
Like, where is the this?
Yes, I was not having this.
And you were like this.
I was flat, number 11, like this. And so for like 3 years, up until Form 3, I was just... And so these girls who are bigger than me, they helped me write a letter to a boy in Form 4. And so that I can go, we organize a date so that I can be touched, so that I can grow some breasts.
Oh.
Yeah.
Man, there's a lot.
So the peer pressure is real. It's not just about, it's about that thing you've talked about, being left out, feeling left out. We went through it. Our children are still going through it. But my daughter taught me something and told me, Mom, I think your generation needs to stop worrying so much about us having sex. You need to worry about bigger things. We have bigger evils to talk about. And we're like, what? Okay, so what's up? And she's like, Mom, so how do you go around LGBTQ? How do you go around HPV? Like, they're already aware. You see, some of us didn't know even HIV or anything. So we were doing it because we were ignorant. For them, they are doing it because they've read it, because they have access to internet. There's a girl who told me that she started masturbating because she used to read novels and try to do, the first novel she read was, I think, Shades of Grey, say 50. So she tried to doing it. And that is how she was introduced to masturbation. So no one introduced her, but an article, something she was reading. So we can have this conversation and say peer pressure, but for them, maybe they never talk about, but you can read, you can watch something. That's where they are watching pornography. And so it's a whole totally different approach for them as opposed to how we grew up. They no longer know Jorori. So they have maybe some medications. Maybe they have, I saw it on TikTok the other day. There's something they are drinking so that the breast can grow.
The kids.
Even women who want breasts and the behind to grow. So there's something that they are drinking. They're injecting all sorts of things so that they can grow and look like that. So our struggles are totally different from from theirs. But when they're in that stage, if you don't help them understand, a young man will always have an erection at 3 a.m. They need to know it is very normal to have an erection. Actually, the day you wake up and you don't have an erection at 3 a.m., you will question your body. Why?
Don't demonize
Don't demonize it. It is very healthy. It is very okay. So when the erection comes, do I touch myself to release it? No. Teach that boy how to deal with that erection. An erection does not mean that you need to have penetration. An erection tells you, oh boy, you are healthy, you're good, your testosterone is good. So you thank God, you look at it and you say, Jehovah God, thank you, I bless you. These are things that you have to be really thankful for. Okay. There is someone who is crying day in, day out because they can't find an erection. So when you have it, you just know, my testosterone is high. Because the testosterone is the hormones that we were talking about is the one that helps the body behave like that. Now, if you add the happy hormones to this, the dopamine, the oxytocin, you remember a girl you like, that is when now you desire the sex. Okay. Then for a girl, remember, we are two girls. And for the last, for 1 month, our bodies change. We have 4 different women in different. So there's a time when you're ovulating and you just want to go and winking at every man. Tell because you're like, oh, please touch me, please hold me, you know.
Nice kupate ukiwa single.
Yes. It really... So those are hormones. See where umejiambia, it's just the body that just said, you know what, I'm ovulating. I have some very ready eggs. So hello, give me some sperms. So if you walk around looking for some sperms, your skin glows, you smell nice. Actually, the discharge smells really nice during ovulation. Ask these men. They know when someone is ovulating. When you love someone, you will know when they're ovulating.
Yes. Glow.
And like... Let's go back. Animals, when they want to have sex, what do? That's what men do.
What?
Yes, it's an instinct that was put by God. I know. I wish they can be honest with you. I know quite a number who tell me they even steal our panties when they are not clean so that they can sniff.
Oh, wait.
Yes. You see, the secrets are out. Yes. Because it's a sense. God gave us 5 senses and sex needs the 5 senses.
Okay.
And the first sense, especially for men, their sense of smell is really high. Think about it. When you meet a man who smells really nice, why do you get attracted to them?
The smell.
Oh, wow. You smell nice. We keep sniffing, even as we sniff, but as we don't sniff the private parts, we sniff the smells and, everything, these things, because your sense of smell is really... So when you're ovulating, your discharge is slimy, is happy, is ready for the sperms to come in, and it smells nice.
Wow.
When you love someone, you will always tell. When they walk in, you can tell there's a scent that has changed. If only we can know, we can stop applying things. For those who do oral sex, they love eating that discharge when it's like that.
Sips kombucha.
And that is now why you need kombucha, so that your discharge, you need probiotics so that you can
It comes
have
out nice.
good natural discharge, because that is natural.
Okay.
Now, during your periods, of course, the smell changes.
Actually, am I the only one who doesn't even want anyone around me?
Yes. It is a natural instinct. The body is saying we are not ready for sex. Please go away. That's why we get moody. That's why we get so angry. That's why we cry. That's why we chase them, because we're like, please, I don't need this thing.
Not now.
Not now. And then when you're done, you're like, do I like you? Do I not like you? Oh, okay, fine. Then the ovulation comes, then you're like, come, baby, come.
Rudy.
Yes. So that is how the instinct, that is how, those are the phases of instincts, the natural instincts, even in the other animals. That is how God created us to be. That it comes from somewhere, from within, from the hormones. And so the best thing, and that is where now self-control comes in, because human beings are the only animals that we have self-control. You can be able to control. Animal, when it comes, you run. And something else is, when now we are getting to having sex, when the woman, the journey for a woman to want to have sex is totally different from a man.
Okay.
I don't know whether we have already gotten to that point, but let's just get to it. When I was growing up, someone, I don't know who, and I think most girls, they were told that by someone who we don't know who, that a man can have an erection anytime, any day, anyway, anyhow. And a man can sleep with just anything, as long as
ikona skirt.
Yes. I had even a worse one when Maurice was talking about it and saying, if you lock a man in a house by himself and there is nothing else, he can even take that pillow and have sex with it, because that's...
Whoa.
Yeah. So a man does not have sex from the heart first, like the urge, the libido. When we're talking about the libido, it does not come from the heart first. It comes from the brain, then to the penis, then, if you are lucky, to the heart.
If you're lucky.
You see the way they are smiling? It's because they know. It's not, for them, the heart is not a necessary tool for me to have sex.
What?
And the day we will know that as women, we will be happy. Okay. Because we will stop placing it, even placing the big burden and thinking, I'll sleep with him so that he can love me. Nope. He will, because men have sex for two reasons: for pressure and for pleasure.
Okay,
when he's under so much stress and he's thinking about something, he'll come home and he'll want sex. You know what happens when he's doing it for pressure?
Guys, the show is over.
And then when he finishes, he'll just like and sleep and wake up, and tomorrow morning he'll have very sharp brain thinking about that thing that was stressing. And you are seated there thinking, oh, that's not sex. That's just he was releasing pressure. And you need to know your man and know when he is under pressure and when he needs pleasure.
Oh my God.
You see? Yes. And we need to allow, if you don't allow him to have that sex for pressure, that's when he goes to get a prostitute. Just think about it. When he goes to have sex with a prostitute, he has no connection at all. He's just releasing the pressure. I know they really do. I'm giving out all their secrets.
Did you hear the whose point are we noting?
It's because their secrets are out. Yes, their secrets are out. So as a woman, you need to also be, we are nurturing and instinct beings. When he's under pressure, he's not using his brain at all. He's just using his penis. And that's it. Finish, sleep.
Wake up, focus.
Life continues. When he's doing it for pleasure, he will start with foreplay. It's about you. It's not about him. For pressure, it's about him. For pleasure, it's about me.
So akianza kukukiss hapo jua, that's for pleasure.
Unajua when akona pressure mpaka atakukiss ila
Ni ya pressure.
It's like he's so angry. And at that moment, the adrenaline is high. And those people who love rough sex, that's the adrenaline. That's the need to let it out. Someone annoys you, like those ones. So he needs to let that out.
Okay.
Am I excusing you slapping and beating and biting someone? No. I'm saying you are still a human being. You have self-control. You can choose.
Exercise.
Even when you're pressure and you're having sex with your partner, tell them, enyewe boss, mi niko na pressure.
In your pressure.
In your pressure, bana.
I think we would all appreciate that disclaimer. No. I think we would all use that disclaimer. So now that is why God gave a woman the sixth sense to notice when it's for pressure and for pleasure. Because even them, sometimes they don't know it's for pressure. They're just feeling... Yani, you're like, I'm not sure what I'm feeling. Like, nasikia kuchapa mtu pahali, nini. So let me just pick on some good sex. Okay.
So when it's for pleasure, and that is actually when a man has it for pressure, he will just ejaculate. He doesn't have an orgasm. Men only have an orgasm when they do it for pleasure.
Okay.
Yes. And men fear women who they can have the pleasure sex with because they get a crazy orgasm that they think at some point they lose control. And they're like, uyu mtu alinikalia. Uyu alinikalia chapati. Because how can I feel this good about this? There's a man who explained to me and told me it's like there's a kanat that does. And when it does that, you will live forever looking for it if you don't get that girl.
Okay.
Because they feel like there's something. That is when they start running. Most of the time, the first time they feel that, they run away from you. Because they feel like you want to control me. Niliambiwa na mama yangu, please do not. They fear losing control. So for pleasure, not every man will even understand what I'm talking about. There's a man who is watching us who has never had sex for pleasure.
Oh, they just ejaculate. But I'm going to have to ask this for my people.
Yes.
Because also I need an answer. What's the difference between experiencing an orgasm and ejaculation?
I'm looking for the simplest way of explaining. You know how sometimes when you're ovulating, you're feeling hot, you're feeling all this, and you just go and take a shower?
Yeah.
And maybe you feel better.
Yes.
What would happen if you're in Mombasa or in a very hot, humid place, you are ovulating, you're feeling hot, you're having hot flashes, and then you go and get into a swimming pool.
Calm.
So that's the difference. The shower will relieve you for a while, but the other one is so deep, is so nice. So this is an explanation I've gotten from men who we share candidly and they are open about it. They say the orgasm touches from head to toe to the hair, to the nails, to every part of them, and they literally lose the control. It is something out of this world for them. Ejaculation is the normal one. It's coming, it's out. So the it's out is they're just happy. They're just happy it happened.
Out.
Yeah, it's out.
Yeah.
But this other one has really opened
like
up the mass. So it's tornado. It's something else. You see, the way we feel, maybe we can only say that because we know what we feel. So now for them, they would feel it even more at that moment. And then the problem, or the beautiful problem here, is they get now to use the heart. It's the heart that gets the orgasm. A man cannot have an orgasm until he now opens up the heart. Remember I said it's the mind, the penis, then that's pressure.
If you're
the mind, the penis, and the heart, it's pleasure.
It's pleasure.
That's pleasure. That's someone who you've opened up to. That's someone who you are ready to. That's someone you've given yourself to.
Okay.
That's pleasure.
Okay.
Yes.
So which one are you getting, guys? Pleasure or pressure?
You can always tell. You will always tell. The way a man will treat you after sex and during sex and even many days after sex, you will know if it's pleasure or pressure. Okay. After you do pressure, you want to run away. There's a gentleman who... I hope he's not watching this one.
I hope he's
But he's my friend. It's okay. He can watch.
Yeah.
He was telling me how someday he had so much pressure. Then he decided, let me flirt with this kagal in the office. And flirted and then he was like, let me just go and release the pressure. And then the kagal was living somewhere on Thika Road and decides, let me drive. And he was telling me, you do not think from Riverside Drive to Thika Road. You do not think. You are just thinking about the pressure you are going to release. He went. He didn't even notice how bad the roads and how bad that place was. Went there. Mama, papa. Immediately he ejaculated. He noticed this house was smelly. The girl was because he made it worse. The house was smelling like stove, like paraffin.
See, poor. But
he felt like he woke up and he's like, what am I doing here? And then now going back, he was like, what is wrong with you? You are such a bad. What is wrong? Because the roads were bad. It was in the middle of nowhere. Uh-huh. He was telling me, and I've heard this from several men, maybe they can also confirm that when you are under pressure and you need to release it, you don't think. You can take a plane from here to Mombasa.
Wow.
You go there, you finish. After you finish, you're like, guy, aki my money, aki. Sure, man, I've wasted myself. Mm-hmm. Then you go back and you start asking, guy, I didn't use a condom. Oh my God, maybe I'm HIV positive. Oh my Jesus. Oh, Jesus.
That's why you're asking.
You have no idea how many of my friends have taken for that test. They're like, Aki, Karo, I messed up, man.
Oh my God.
Say, please. Aki, I'm feeling so bad. Aki, I've really messed up. Am I lying?
The way they are, it's the way.
You do not think. That's a difference between men and women.
Yeah.
For us, by the time I'm going, like I decide I'm coming to your house, ama unitumie fare nikule. First of all, I was not even ready for it. But the day you see me, and then for us, it's a sanctuary. It's like a sacrifice, a sanctuary for me to remove my clothes for you.
We are so emotional.
Just give myself to you.
That day you will shave.
That day
you will do.
And you will drink all the okra water and then God knows what. Because for us, it comes from the heart first. Before anything else. You must have these emotions, unless if you're doing it for business. If you're doing it for business, it's a totally different thing. Because if you're doing it for business and you connect the heart, you'll not be able to do it. So if you want to do it for business, you do not connect your heart. The Bluetooth device
disconnected.
And life, that is how they are able to do it. But for us women, it comes from the heart. It's emotional. For us, sex is emotional. And that's why we feel he dumped me after he slept with me. And you're wondering how? How is he even living? He doesn't care. He was using his penis. He was not thinking about emotions. Emotions come far much later for men. And women, we have to really produce the hormones of liking. We have to engage all our 5 senses.
Nice.
We want to hear good, sweet things, sweet nothings, the hearing. This is the part that has the most nerves for women. And that is why God gave men beards here, so that when we hug them, they come here.
Hey. Hi guys, I gotta laugh.
And that's why we feel we are not all of us, but
God
most women. Yes. Na bebe God anapenda hizi vitu. Let's stop saying that God that is not here. He's in here. He's the architect of all this. Because think about why don't we have beards here? Why don't we have beards here? Why is it that when he kisses you here, you feel paragashasha karabasha? Why is it so? Because most nerves are here. Why are women attracted to men with beards, with these big beards? I'm not pointing. Why are So God orchestrated it. He has his own. God wanted us to really enjoy this. So for men, if you don't tell your girl lovey-dovey stories, and sometimes we even want to be lied to, oh, I'm going to buy you a plane. You have nothing. Like, we want to hear some nice things. That's our first sense. For men, their first sense is what they see. For us, we want to hear. And then number two, we actually, for a man to move us from the heart to the body, they must touch us. They must embrace us. They must cuddle. They must
listen to you.
They must. Yes.
Hey.
Jesus wanted to be happy. I know why. And sometimes we never think about these things. You never imagine that they are playing a role. When someone is, why do bad boys sleep with so many women? Because they have a way with their tongue. They have a way, they know.
Hey, mama.
Yo. And they know. Why is it that women...
Have you seen that thing? Sorry.
Hey, mama.
Have you seen that thing on TikTok? Hadithi hii si mpya Nairobi.
Oh. Maneno haya.
Si mapya. Sijui nizalie nitakupeleka kwetu.
We want to hear. And truthfully, if a man was just like, he decided not to ever say nice things, that girl will look for someone who will say nice things. Na si kupenda kwetu, by the way. Sometimes just think about people who've been married. Aki, we are lied to, man. Aki, he shows you like where he'll take you in the next 5 years. Wow. And hey, Yan, we just love hearing those lies. Then number 3, why do we like deep voices?
Hey, mama.
Yes, mama. All these elements are masculine elements that we don't have. And so we want to feel protected. We want to feel... no offense, but I can't stand some soft hands from a man, and just be a bit, masculine.
Please.
Yeah.
Please.
I'm not saying men should not go for manicure. I have no problem with that, but sometimes ugumu ndio, unajua. Hardcore. That's a masculine part that
women,
we
I feel like
need.
Women want their feminine energy tapped
yes,
into. They want to feel like a
because
baby.
Why? When you tap into my feminine energy, I release the estrogen hormone, the oxytocin hormone. Literally, you cannot get estrogen out of me if you're not softening, if you're not tapping into my feminine. You cannot. So if you want my... have you ever thought about when a woman gets high, gets horny, why her boobs change? The tenderness of her boobs change.
To what?
Something
hardcore.
Maybe unless they tell us, I don't know what really they feel, but the boob changes into
even
something.
By the way, even if
the nipple will,
yes,
it will. Why? Because the hormones have been sent, and if you don't help me release those hormones, then how else am I supposed to be to get there? So it's the man and his masculinity and his ways to help me, because I can do it by myself. Women, we can do it. Do you know a woman is never given an orgasm by a man? There's no man who gives you orgasm.
What do you mean?
Nope.
What do you mean?
You give it to yourself. You allow him to give you an orgasm. If you block him, you'll never have an orgasm.
Oh, yes.
Even if akuje, afanye acrobats, afanye nini,
no, that is true.
A woman releases. We have the doorway to release an orgasm. It's you who decides. And when you decide, when you love someone, you think about them, you can get an orgasm.
Good.
He can come close to you like this and just comes and done. Orgasm. And the day they should know that, they will be they'll just make sure that they use that.
Yes.
And so you can give a woman multiple orgasms even without touching her.
That's true.
Yes.
That's true.
Yes.
Hiyo ni ukweli.
Kweli kabisa. Unaona wenye wamenyamaza?
Leo tutafanyia high five wapi?
Yes. And the day we will know as women our power,
yes,
we will have many orgasms. Many, plenty, because he has no power to give me orgasm. He can help me. That's how powerless they are. No offense. That's how powerless they are.
Sips kombucha?
So why I'm saying that, I wanted to say that statement for them to feel what they felt, because I want to tell you, it's not how you think you are doing will help me. Instead, it's how you will ask me, how are you feeling? Where do I touch? How do I go about this? Because I have the map. So please, communication, because women want to hear and they want to be appreciated through communication.
There you go.
Communicate with me.
There you go.
It's not
I don't know. Like
boof. Nope. Let's, because women, we are connective beings. We are emotional and we bond through. Why do we go for chamas and just talk and talk? Because we are connective beings. Men are not connective beings. They are logical beings. Me, I want sex, I would do full stop. For us, we connect. Look at me in the eyes. I don't know whether you've ever experienced this. When you love someone, you look into his eyes and
you get lost.
Let's just say is another.
Hey.
Just his eyes.
Mm-hmm. You get lost. I promise. You get so lost.
God bless him.
Yes. You even start seeing a whole new world in his eyes.
Yes.
Is he juju?
Yes. It's not juju. That is how much we are connective beings. Mm-hmm. Then that means that for us, sex is connection. It's connective. And for me to release myself to you, I need to connect with you. That's how, after people get married, after few years, they say, I'm not understanding, I'm bored with my wife. But it's you who is not wooing her the way you were wooing her before. You will always find a new thing. There's my friend who keeps telling me to tell men that vaginas are the same. It's just like sugar. It's just the sugar dish that keeps changing.
Oh, whoa.
The sugar remains as sugar. But the sugar dish, you have a plastic one, you can have a glass one, you can have a classy one. So,
auntie, si kuna watu wanasemanga, it's tight, it's not tight, it's not tight. How is it the same with the tightness?
It's very mental.
Yeah.
It's very mental for the one who is saying how tight it is or what it is. It is also physical. If a woman, you go and have sex and you just seated there, okay, kimaliza nifunike. There's no movement, there's nothing. These are vagina muscles. Vagina is a muscle. And I always compare it to my mouth. If my mouth, this you see there's what are they called? There are some two lines here.
Mm-hmm.
Our vagina is like that. And when a man is going in, they say they feel it. They feel that it's like. So if today I chose for the next 2 months, I'll be like this. In 2 months, it will be like this because it's muscles.
Mm-hmm.
So for us, if a woman is not engaging in helping the muscles and feeling like this, the man will not feel the tightness. Okay?
So how do you engage the muscles? Because you can't keep doing like this to your V, like,
You can, you should. Movements.
Uh-huh.
I don't know whether you've seen this thing on TikTok saying, come, I'll spell coconut for you.
C-O.
There's a sex style called coconut where you spell the coconut for the man. We'll talk about the sex style some other days.
Okay.
But the movement,
we mark that for other days. Oh, wow.
The movement, remember, you're not doing it for him. You're doing it for yourself. When you're brushing your teeth, have you ever found yourself in front of a mirror? You're like, because you want to get to all the parts.
Yes.
Sex is just the
Yes.
same. You need to get to all the parts, the movements. So you need to do Kegel exercise. Kegel is Kegel exercise. Kegel was the person who invented the exercise where you hold, you let go. I don't know whether I've ever taught you.
No, you'll teach us that.
Yes, you have to keep doing Kegel exercise to strengthen the pelvic walls. And the more you are doing the Kegel exercises, okay, let me use a simple way. When he's coming in, push him out. When he's coming out, pull him in. When he's coming in, push him out.
When he's coming out, push him in.
Yes.
Like kick.
Usikubali akikuja toa. Hivyo.
Toa.
Yes.
Okay.
Kegel exercise helps strengthen the pelvic area and also helps the tightness and I'm really trying to look for a way of explaining it the way the mouth works.
Yeah.
When you're eating a lollipop, how do we do it? That's what you should be doing during sex.
Okay.
During sex, you should be able to feel, you are aware, you are conscious. I'm assuming this is not a woman who is like, okay, so
yeah,
you are conscious, you are feeling it because we need to have all the walls hit. And a woman can have different orgasms. We have clitoris, we have the G-spot, we have the uterine. All those walls can give you a G-spot each. I mean, an orgasm each. Can get an orgasm for this part.
Yeah.
So you also need to play a role for yourself, not for him. And also you can help him get to tell him,
songa hivi.
Then hapo. Don't. Don't. But when we say don't, please do. Because that's when it's going to the next level. What I'm saying is don't be just sit there. Remember, you're also enjoying it yourself. Enjoy with your body. Enjoy, feel it, feel him. So the tightness is about the person who, if I saw you and I imagined you are tight, you will be tight. If I imagined you're not tight,
you won't
nothing.
be.
But number 2 is how I will respond to the giving, because they come to give us. How will I respond to the giving? How will I receive? Feminine energy is about receiving. How will I receive the energy that you want to give me? Yeah.
So we are saying overall, sex is very important because it helps you connect. Yes. It helps you release.
Yes.
It helps you.
Think about couples who are married or who are in a relationship and they haven't had sex for long. The woman will always feel like they are not loved. They'll not feel beautiful. They'll keep wondering. And actually, women get tortured so much. The current abuse, the current form of abuse that we are having in relationships and marriages is where men are denying women sex. And it's
not the other way around.
Imagine these days, it's when you get to my office and you listen and you're like, wow, okay, now what do we do? And then you listen to the man and he says, it's not like I'm denying him. I'm denying her. It's because I can't have an erection or I'm not strong enough, so I don't want to disappoint her. So these two people are having a problem and they don't want to talk about it. When a man has premature ejaculation and maybe erectile dysfunction, he doesn't want to tell the partner that I have a problem. And so he denies her sex, and the woman always blames it on herself. And that is something we need to tell you. It's not about you, Dad. It's not about you, Mommy. It's not about you, because we always make it about ourselves. Oh, maybe I'm too fat. Maybe I'm not. There are even women who come to me and say, no, I believe my vagina is not tight. Make it tight. Give me something for tightness. I'm like, I don't give something for tightness. First of all, think about, no, it's not about you. So when a woman is denied sex, or when a woman sees like, even women who have had sex with men with erectile dysfunction or premature ejaculation, they think amemwaga haraka because of me. They actually think I could have contributed to him not being able to perform. See me, I thought women, that is what our culture told us. I thought a man should last 10, 30 minutes or 3 hours. And
the 3 hours. Kwani tunajenga plot.
No, but those are the
3 hours is from here to Nakuru.
Those are the lies we are telling each other in chamas. Oh, my man's 3. Oh, last night, hey, he went 5 hours. That's nonsense. That's a lie.
Kwani anachimba kisima?
That is how we tell each other. We want to show, and maybe the person who is telling you she didn't even have sex, but you can always tell when a woman or a man. Of course, it's easier for a man not easier when a man is denied sex. I think they always look for options.
Ama wapande mlima.
Yeah, well, by the way, it's a good hobby to go and climb the mountain. It's a way of releasing the energy, or go for a marathon. Go for a way of releasing this energy. But when you're in a relationship and you're not connecting through sex, the relationship gets disconnected. You might talk and you might speak about any finances, career, but there's a disconnect. At some point, you even hate that person. You're like, so wewe ni wa kazi gani basi? So marriages are strained. Relationships currently are strained when there is an issue that is making them not to have sex. Because it could be the erectile dysfunction, premature ejaculation. For a woman, it could be they have fibroids, they have reproductive system issues that they're bleeding too much. Maybe she's on family planning methods that are taking away the libido. So it really strains a relationship because it's a connection. It's a way of connecting. And the day we will know the power of sex, we will stop undermining it. Because sex is more spiritual than we imagine. And there's a conversation you had the other day with Revived Winner.
Yes.
And you were talking about how when you go sleeping around with everyone, you carry those spirits, those souls. And it's true. Sometimes we are told these things and we don't hear. When you can sleep with someone and all your things will disappear, ama you become rich. These things. Sex is very spiritual. So when we're talking about sex, we need to remember that sex is deeper than just penetration. Sex is deeper than anything else. So be careful also where you put that energy. Because if you're spiritually disconnected, then the orgasms and the pleasures we are talking about here is a lie. And there are so many people who will never experience an orgasm in their lives because they are not open. Sex is also social. How you are socialized will determine the kind of sex you'll have. There's someone who can never have sex when there's light. They cannot.
But depends which light. I'm one of those people.
Some of them
light.
You want light.
I can't do it when the light is on top of me. I gotta have warm light.
Oh,
I have to have.
Oh, wow.
Like it has to.
Wow.
Msikate hii upload peke yake. Inajua mnaenda kukata hii part peke upload. Don't do that to me. I'm just saying it depends. Like bright light.
Okay.
No, but warm light, like warm light and music.
Now there are those people who cannot stand any light. They want darkness. They've never even looked at their vagina or their penis. They don't even know how their partners...
Giza.
They don't
like
even
this
touch...
dark.
Yes, they don't even touch the penis when it's going through.
So nakatu.
Yeah. Hata wengine, they don't even remove clothes. Panty, kando, chwa, tumalize. Let's life continues.
Why though?
Socialize. How you are socialized. Because some people think it's a sin. You feel sinful, you feel bad. And sometimes someone else is feeling I'm not worthy. Maybe I'm not looking good. Maybe I don't know. Socialization really matters. Your culture. I've been attending to a group of girls whom I love so much from one of the communities in Africa. And the stories they are telling me are devastating. The girls who've gone through female genital mutilation, my God. Oh my Jesus. It is so ruthless. And so we are having these conversations because for them it's a totally different thing. When you meet a girl whose the labias are gone, the clitoris is gone, every part is gone, and then they are stitched. And so they don't even have an idea how to ever recover from that. Then you give birth and every part of you is torn. From behind. And these are young girls we are talking about. I didn't know that female genital mutilation still happens. I have a whole group of girls who we are working together, and you can imagine how much they even hate their bodies. Yesterday, I got a case of another sad one, because this girl wants to get married. But where she's getting married, she must be a virgin. And because she's not a virgin, she goes to a doctor, asks to be stitched, and be stitched too tightly so that when she has sex, it will tear and blood will come out, to prove she's a virgin. So how will that woman ever enjoy sex ever again after that marriage? So where are we getting married? What are these foundations that we are placing?
Why?
Yes. Someone else is socialized or was told that sex is for reproduction. So she does not believe that sex should be done how. We don't want a child. Why are we having sex? So she will only have sex when she wants a child. That's socialization. There is another socialization of a man who thinks, for me to suppress this woman, I need to go and have sex with her. So the way you approach the woman is an object. You're not approaching this woman as a fellow human being. So geuka, it's this one. Cha-cha-cha. It's rough. I don't care whether you are dry. I don't care whether you are rough. I don't care about anything. So I'm talking about how we are socialized really matters. Psychological, how troubled you are psychologically it will dictate the kind of sex you'll have. Sexually troubled people rape people. Sexually troubled people have forced sex. They don't even wait. There are those people you've had, they first beat the woman, or there are women who told me they first want to be beaten. Then in that pain of being beaten, that's when they want sex. So that's a psychologically traumatized person. So sex is all round, spiritual, cultural, social, psychological. It's everything. So it's not just physical. Physical is just the kilele, the climax, the end of it all. So if you want to really enjoy the end of it all, you have to look at all these other aspects. Someone who's ever been sexually abused, if you don't heal it, if you don't heal myself, I had to take a lot of time to heal myself. I've been sexually abused 3 times. And so for me to heal, before I healed, I used to think it's a punishment to have sex. I used to hate men. I used to, those things. But I had to heal. No one can heal you. No one, even a psychologist will not. They will only show you the way, and then you will heal so that you can now finally enjoy the physical aspect, the physical part. And now the physical part also needs some extra work that we are talking about. Tell me some nice things. Touch me, and touch me on the spots that are very sensitive. For women, mostly it's here, hair, eyes. Please start kissing eyes and noses. Stop kissing the mouth only. Just, like... We are sensitive over here and here. Kiss me all over, here.
Yes.
Breasts, navel, pelvic area, under the knee, below the feet.
Should find a whole show on that. We teach people the wares.
We give them the notes.
Yes, the wares.
That's okay. That's okay. So we need extra work for a woman, for a man. For me to be able to enjoy this sex, I must have libido. Libido is what? Is when I have the thoughts, the desire, and now the erection or the lubrication. So if a woman does not have good lubrication, if she's not well lubricated, she'll not enjoy sex.
I hear you.
It will be rough. It will be painful. So what are you doing to have this lubrication? What is your diet? Are you overweight? Are you doing what you can do? Are you eating foods like probiotics? This is what we are taking. We are taking kombucha.
We take because
probiotics. When you do probiotics, you are clearing the gut. You are encouraging the good bacteria. You're keeping away the UTIs and the yeast infections. And so it means you will be able to enjoy the sex. If it's this baby girl that I just made and I
this
love
one
her.
here?
No, this one.
This one?
Yes. It's called Slimy Girl.
Oh, Slimy Girl.
Slimy Girl, I made it out of special requests from the ladies. Because it's made from natural foods to help a woman naturally lubricate. Like the lubrication will come from inside.
Yeah.
You don't need to pour from outside. So this is a blend of several herbs that you take and you can tendeleza kutendeleza.
Is it like slime? Like the name Slimy Girl? Hey, mommy.
A slimy girl to
Yeah.
help the body naturally lubricate itself. Because remember, a woman, when you are using some family planning methods, you will get dry. When you are stressed, you will get dry. When you're going through menopause, you will get dry. When you are not okay, physically and psychologically, you'll get dry. So I have the application one, the application lubricant, and the one that you take from inside.
I love the color.
Yes, it's strawberry.
This is good.
Yes, it's strawberry. It smells really nice.
Yes. Oh, smells nice also.
Oh, it does smell nice.
Okay.
And
oh, that smells nice. I see what you did there.
Yes. So you have to really do some extra work. Eat well. Maintain a healthy diet. If you're drinking alcohol, you are smoking, and you're not brushing your teeth, how will you go? How will you come and kiss me? Hygiene. Hygiene is very important. Hygiene is very important. Maybe I can preempt a question that I suspect you will ask me about oral sex.
Go on.
Oral sex, is it good or bad? I don't know. It's up to you whether you like it, whether you think it's right or wrong. But it's a part and parcel of helping each other ignite the feelings. And because you are out there to help each other to attain the climax of sex. There are some who feel it is not okay. That is okay. There are those who feel we cannot do. Remember, a woman wants foreplay. By the way, we can do without foreplay. Oh, we can't. Is there a woman who can do without foreplay?
I don't know.
What is foreplay? Foreplay is when you have to really, awaken the goddess in me.
Like nishikashike.
Yes. Awaken the goddess in me. Nishikashike, whisper some nice. But then whispers are sweet. Oh my God. Whispering is really nice when it's over here.
It is.
Eh?
It is.
Yes, because when you release, remember, after an orgasm, I will release more estrogen. I'll want some bonding. Remember, after orgasm from a man, he will let go of testosterone and he'll be a woman. Estrogen will be high. And that's why they don't make a decision when they are there, because they are soft. They become soft. And that is when they become very feminine. I say, they are very fragile. If you want to use him that time.
Oh my G.
If you can. Unamuuliza baby, hiyo title utaniandikia?
Later.
Yes, later.
Call the lawyer.
And that is why God in his own wisdom made them to sleep after an orgasm.
Wow.
So that we don't use them badly. And also to give time to the seed that he has planted to go up to where it should go.
Why do I feel like it's a bit easy for men though?
Because they are meant to sleep.
Asha come then.
Analala too. It's very natural. Kuna mtu aliniambia ati when a man... Aki, the things you guys tell me, yawa. After a man ejaculates or gets an orgasm, he feels like he has just amechimba 8 acres of land in that span of time. Ati anakwanga kama katrakta kamechimba 8 acres. Amechimba 8 acres. I'm like, is it that? Is it that? I don't know. Does it drain you that much? But God created for a man to, when he's done ejaculating, the estrogen comes up, the testosterone goes.
Yes.
And he needs to take time. Maybe this I can explain to the younger girls. When you are dating or when you are newlyweds and when you sleep with him, after a while, he first draws back for days, for 2-3 days. He will keep away for 2-3 days to regain the testosterone. Remember those 2 girls who used to tell you, Aki, he slept with me, then ghosted message for how many? Then after a while, he comes back.
Anantumia
aje.
Then you gotta shake your
Please
head.
stop ghosting them. But naturally, what is happening, he released too much testosterone. He needs to go back and refill it, then come back with more.
So just have a conversation about it.
Because sometimes even he doesn't know. He doesn't know what is happening. Because after you release, you're like, it's not that you hate. So there are men who will tell you, Aki, me, I slept with her and then I felt like I don't love her anymore. It's not like you hate her. It's the testosterone that was making you, the adrenaline and the testosterone. a man can chase a woman for 10 years. Then alale tu na yeye siku moja tu, and that's done.
Oh, yeah.
That chasing is the one that...
The thrill.
The thrill. So he has to refill. We also have a way of making them chase us. We need to make them chase us. Because the more you are chased, the more your estrogen goes up.
Oh, really?
I don't know how you know how cows mate. The lady is the one who more. And then by the time she's doing that, she's lubricated and she can get some vaginal discharge. And then the owner of the cow will go and look for a bull
to come.
Then when the bull comes, the girl disappears. She has to run away for the bull to run after her.
Oh, man.
Yes. Animals, they have, even the chicken, why does it run away? From the cock. But when the chicken sees another chicken is interested, they will still... Because we are competitive beings.
Yes.
We want to see, is any other woman interested? Jaribu mtu agajaribu kuguza mtu wako, hapo ndio unajua unampenda. You will fight for you. The estrogen, the feminine is released when you're chased. And that's how you get even more lubricated. So when you want to have sex with someone, start in the morning. To messages, to winking, to spanking, By evening, I'll be ready for you, Baba.
Marinated.
I'll be ready for you.
Done deal.
Yes. So don't just show up and...
Tikama hapa.
Yes.
Ajua naogopa kukua expressive. Wataenda wanikate tu shots.
Wanakata.
Wanidistribute.
No, it's okay. Mm-hmm. It's okay. Yeah. So, but sex is
good.
Beautiful. I don't think there's anything as beautiful in this world as that.
I love that.
Oh, it's beautiful.
I love that.
When you get to that point. And as you age, it gets better for women.
Tell them about it. We've been preaching about...
Oh, yes.
Aliye tumesikia.
As we age, it gets better for a woman. It gets even sweeter. Yes.
Why is that so, though?
I think you release the cultural, the social you release all these. Women, we were fed so many things as we were growing up. So by the time I'm getting 35,
you're
all
like,
that
what
nonsense, I'm like,
is this?
There's a time you want tall, dark, and handsome, and there's a time you're discussing whether you want a big or a small one. There is a time, when you know the essence, when you get to 35, 40, by that time you're like, I want my happiness. Twende kaende. I don't care. So that way, I'll move, I'll do anything. I'll use the slimy girl, I'll use happy vagina, I'll do anything for my own pleasure.
Become more expressive.
And you stop shying away. Because before, when you were younger, you were thinking, maybe he'll think I'm promiscuous, me, I don't care.
Now I'll tell you. Hard.
You go ahead.
Yeah.
And it's about my satisfaction and your satisfaction. So we are doing this, so we will communicate. I'll tell you, no, that spot, I don't like this style. I like this style. I like this one. Because I feel like you mature. So even the response of the vagina, and when you're happy, the blood flow to the vagina becomes, better.
Good.
And you're even better. So yes, we get better by age.
All right.
Yes.
I love that. I love that we understand the why, we understand the benefits. Have we left any other benefit of sex?
Of course, the stress levels will go down. Yeah. The immune system has a way, it's a form of exercise. Have you ever had sex and then the following day, 2 days later, you're like, even that place has a muscle. Like, why is it aching? Like, you're like, what position was I doing? That is when you know how many muscles you have, because you can engage as many muscles.
Not a joke. Kwanza kiuno. It's not a joke. It's not a joke.
Kama bata. That is how you realize how many muscles you use at that moment. So it's a form of exercise.
Yes.
And I think someday we will ask men, do they ever feel these things? Like, do they ever have those funny aches after that?
Do you have pain? Like, does
like
your back
you wonder
pain?
Whether that space has a muscle.
Like your body aches. Who do we have here? Your virgins. DJ hata ashaweka earphones. I think we should ask who's where.
Yes,
that pain is
like
not.
what is the aftermath for men? Because for us, yes, you enjoy it and we really love it. And even if you're flexible, how there's some funny, you'll wonder, where are my fingers feeling like? Kwani how was I seated? What position was I?
Till you get pain here,
yes.
kiuno,
and then
magoti.
unaenda acrobat, unaamba ufanye vitu zingine, unasema siwezi. Na sayo, when we find you in the bedroom, you are over there doing all these
you
things.
are the head.
Yes.
Okay.
So it is a form of exercise. Another benefit is that it will help you ease the stress levels because you'll release the dopamine, the happy hormones. It also helps you avoid masturbation because it will come with, masturbation, pornography, it also helps you even not to be promiscuous because if you are satisfied, why are you going out? And what else? I think, blood flow. To blood pressure, please, this is the time to have sex as much as you can. Blood flow.
People with high blood pressure.
See, it lowers your blood pressure. It balances your blood pressure.
But see, I thought that's when now the blood pressure will be much.
Have
you heard of stories where people have died when they are having an ejaculation or an orgasm?
Yes, there are some people who tell you not dying like dying, but they faint. Yeah, they do. Yeah, there are those people who get...
Now imagine you have high blood pressure, then you go there, you are fainting.
So you're telling me people with high blood pressure should not have sex?
No,
they should.
I don't know. But I think...
Not everyone gets that experience. Very few people. And it happens every time they have sex.
They faint.
Yeah, for those ones, they do. That's how they orgasm. And now faint and I end out, then she comes back.
Yeah, I've seen even in like a movie or something.
There are people who do that. Yes.
That's there. So I don't know whether if you have high blood pressure, you should have, because it's going to increase your flow.
But it increases in a natural way. Blood pressure would be bad if you took some medication. That is when it can be interfered with.
Okay.
Because the blood is flowing to the right places, to the vagina, to the boobs, and all this. And by the way, men's breasts are also very sensitive, highly sensitive.
Yeah.
Why did God put breast for them and they don't breastfeed?
But what's the essence of two nipples in men? I've always wondered.
The nerves there are very sensitive.
So as a woman, should you touch your man's boobs? That's
their second sex organ.
No way.
Yeah.
So you should touch actually.
And bite.
Oh. Carol, let's move to the reason. Let's just move now to the other part. Like, when do you gotta be practical about it? Can you bite? You don't bang this, even you don't hang. Please, let's. I know people are waiting for the part now. I've had sex. Yes. I love sex. It's beautiful. And then all of a sudden,
it's not there.
I can't have sex for different reasons. Or maybe hakuna mtu, ama sijui whatever. People stop having sex for different reasons. I was
thinking, when I was coming out, I really thought about someone who maybe they were really friends with their partner, they were having sex, they were enjoying. Then one of them passes on. Yeah. I really thought about that person because I can only imagine how difficult it is. I don't even know because I don't even know what to tell such a person. So that's one scenario. And of course, now grief has struck. You have to go through it. What happens mostly, or maybe there's someone else who you guys were having some good sex and the relationship was not working. You had those things of, Aki, he was really good. Aki, he was really good in bed, but
there was just
something. And so you have to part ways. Yeah. And so you have to part ways. And in such cases, mostly the first reaction is anger, frustrations. You feel you want to beat everyone around you. You are just angry because when you know something good, when you are used to something good, then all of a sudden it's not there. The emotions are not the same. Then you go through the stages of grief. You actually go stages of grief. You have to go through the stages of grief after divorce, after separation, after breakups. You have to go through it. And Now I'm talking about the stages of grief, not just about the breakup, but also about that sex, that good sex that you were having, the anger, the depression, asking the bargain, where you're asking, what did I do? What did I not do? What did I do right? All these things. If you don't go through all the stages and you heal, you will go back. I watched Edith Wairimu telling you, if you don't heal and you jump into another one, it's a disaster waiting to happen. It's the same thing as sex, because you will have lacked it and then you say, let me try here. Who knows? You'll go and come with a disease, STD, STIs, or you go and find. Unfortunately for women, when you have good sex, you keep looking for that good sex and it never comes. Actually, the rebound is always as bad as God knows what. Because you are going there to try and compare or to try and look for that other person. Before you go looking, feel the anger, feel the depression, feel it. Allow yourself to feel it. If you find the good sex sour, if you don't find, you still can survive. After that stage, you can survive without sex. By the way, a human being can live without sex ever in their life and nothing will happen to them. Nothing will happen to you. Physically, there's nothing. Medically, there's nothing that will happen to you. So it's not a matter of life and death. You can choose to be celibate. There are people who've chosen to be celibate and they're alive, they're okay. So let's not put so much emphasis on sex that you think if I don't have sex, if I have dry spell at ECG, I'll die. Some men I've met who tell me they will have blue balls and they will die, and they're having painful testicles. It's all in the mind.
Blue balls are not real.
It's a difference. They are there, but not the way they explain.
But men always exaggerate. Ushaona mwanaume na homa ama amejigonga kidogo. They will,
So the blue balls, the stories that I've had quite a number of men telling me, oh,
they'll die.
Akikaroni pe tu, akintakufa tu, you know, like... And he's telling you, they are so painful. It's actually one side is very heavy and very painful. Please save me, save my life.
So, imepura.
No, that's the narrative that some people use.
Yeah.
Blue balls are real, but not as frequent as they think. And lack of sex does not make you have blue balls. No. When I gave birth, my breast started producing milk. And after my baby, now I had to leave my baby at 3 months to go to the university. And my breast somehow knew I was no longer breastfeeding. So the milk production reduced and it stopped. But today, if I opened up these taps, if a baby sucked my breast, I'll give milk if I told my mind. That's the same thing as sperm. There are men who argue, if I don't have sex for so long, my prostate will swell, I'll have prostate cancer. Nah. When they realize that they are producing sperms and they are not being released, your body is very smart. It will stop producing until the day you start releasing again. So it is those myths of if you don't have sex, you'll die. Of course, there are women who will say, if I don't have sex, I'll have back pains. It's very possible. It's very possible. We get back pains. And especially you can tell even during ovulation, you get those back pains. And another benefit of having sex is that those back pains will just disappear. Yes, somehow. So, but you see, the thing is, if you refocus, if you change the focus, then you will not have the pains. Literally, physically, medically, spiritually, they say there are so many benefits of abstaining from sex. They say you will be able to connect with God, blah, 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 and all these things. They say, I had someone say that when a man stays for long without having sex, the next time he'll have sex, it will be marvelous. I don't know how true that is. I have no idea. But there's no problem living without sex. You won't get sick. It's here.
So we can just decide not to have and we'll be okay.
If you have reasons to stop and you can live, you can.
And my elasticity will not...
No, it's a muscle. The only problem is that when you will come to start as a woman now, like for example, you've stayed 5 years, finally you've gotten someone, the muscles were not used, you are not ready, you really have to do some extra work here. And also even him, he has to really help you to release the tension, to help the muscles relax. Because if they don't relax, then you will have painful sex. If you're not well lubricated, some women, after staying for so long without sex, they get dry. The body doesn't know how to produce the lubrication. So maybe you can assist the assisted lubrication. But otherwise, other than that, there's no problem.
Really?
Yes.
And if I was on family planning,
yes,
then I remove. Because now if I am on FP and I don't have sex anymore, what's the essence? What happens?
The hormones will slowly and surely go back to normal. Let's think together. Family planning methods are meant to do what? To come and destabilize the normal hormones so that you don't conceive. So when you stop, the body will slowly start going back to normal. Slowly. Some will take forever to come out of your system. Some will come out very simply, and your body will go back to normal hormones.
Okay.
Yes.
What else? What else happens after we stop?
Of course, now the body, you will pay the consequences of the side effects of that. Remember, all those family planning methods, they came with a side effect that maybe you never discovered. That's when you will observe your body going through those side effects. But nothing much. Some women, most of the family planning methods take away the libido and they take away the dryness. Some women, not all of them, but most women who are on any family planning methods, their libido goes low, their dryness. So some will experience that when you stop using it, the libido will slowly start coming back. Yes.
Then you experience high libido and there's no one there.
Dear.
Oh dear.
Oh yeah.
Choices have consequences.
No, but high libido, you can still survive. Some of us survived for years.
So we can still survive actually with high libido.
You can. Actually, for me, if you gave me an option, I would rather live with high libido, even when I don't have sex, but rather than never, ever having the libido.
There are people I've heard say, when you stop, you gain clarity, your peace of mind, you gain clarity, you can see things.
Yes.
Is that true?
Yes, that's true. Because again, we talked about the psychological and the spiritual aspect of sex. You are focused, you focus on things. And remember, every time a man ejaculates in me, my immune system thinks it's a strange thing and my immune system starts fighting the sperms. So I also give a chance to my body to boost the immune system because it's strong enough, because I'm not fighting so many battles. Imagine fighting all these problems we have in this country, and then every time sperms come into your body, you're still fighting them. Yeah.
I know.
So it boosts. It also helps the immune system just chill out, relax.
So I think it's a relief for people who thought maybe something mega would happen.
Yes.
Or something
it's
crazy would happen.
More psychological.
So you got to do the mind work.
And fill that space with something else that is better. Do the things that you love. Spend time with people you love. Remember that it's not a matter of life and death. And remember, you are waiting to maybe find that instead of trying here and there. Just tell the mind otherwise.
All right.
Yeah.
I love that, but I don't want to wind up. Maybe before I ask you something, because I know there are a lot of parents who are going to be watching this, and I love what you've spoken about. Let us bring our kids near us. Let us have this conversation. As part of the solutions, what would you, especially if if there's a parent watching this and they are raising a child who is sexually aware right now, what would you tell them? What would you talk to them as part of maybe the solution? So conversations they can actually have with kids, because I know a lot of parents are actually going to watch this. Now they are like, Caro, yes, our kids are aware, Nini. What do we do?
Yeah, they are aware. And sometimes these days, even the kids, some of the children are they're actually going for family planning methods before they even become family members, or a young person already is engaging in the medication for family planning. And some parents are giving children this family planning so that they don't get pregnant. Before I even go further, I think we have moved from the generation of worrying about pregnancy. We have more things to worry about. We have human papillomavirus, we have human HIV, we have STDs. We need to enlighten our children on all this. You see, us, we were told just pregnancy. Don't get pregnant. Don't embarrass me. They didn't care about anything else except the pregnancy. But we need to open the window and tell the children, this is it. And I know you've read it, and you'll have this conversation with them. Every time you see, luckily for us now, these days we have phones. You will see a video. Start a conversation from that video and tell them, what do you think about this? First, listen to what they think, because their thinking is totally different from our thinking. Engage them, ask them, so now what does this mean? I remember when we were having a conversation with my daughter, and I was asking her, help me understand, in your generation, when someone says they have a boyfriend, what does it mean? Does it mean you kissed, you cuddled, you have sex? What does a boyfriend mean to people your generation? First of all, don't ask the child like you're asking them. Ask like you're asking for the generation. If you ask them, what does a boyfriend mean to you? She feels attacked. And so they will shut. Teenagers will shut. So instead, engage them and ask, so now, people your age, so now what do you think? So what happens? Show them the truth. I know, and tell them, you know what? I know you've read these things. I know you think you know. And I know the things I'm saying might be very boring, because the first conversation, when they're not ready, they'll tell you, Aki, mom, mom, now what are you talking about? Don't look for opportunities for them to tell you. And then you will tell them the truth, whether they know the truth. Like, for example, this plant is called spider plant. If someone else comes in here and says, this is a plant called dragon fruit, and I know it's called a spider plant, you are the parent, you know it's called a spider plant. You know how it needs to be. You need to help them know how to even keep. So at some 2 or 3 years, they will hate you. They will feel like you are too blunt. But 5 years down the line, they'll say, and mom told me. They are looking for somewhere they can trust. They're looking for someone and somewhere where they can trust. Be that person. Be that friend. The first time I brought condoms home to show my daughter, I had to open it up to show her. I had to show her what a penis looks like. I had to show her how this condom is used, because you never know. She might go to a place where you are not planning to, maybe to visit a neighbor. I know you've seen these things on social media when you sent them even to a cousin, and they were sodomized, or they were raped. If she knows how to use a condom, then maybe it will save her. Don't be ati sitamwambia hizi vitu asiende kuzifanya. You'd rather you tell them and you teach them without even feeling shy. So that if there's one mantra, there's a movie called, I can't remember what movie that movie is called, but it really worked well for me and my daughter when I was teaching her about abortion. It's about abortion. And we talked, and I told her, if anything ever happens, anything good or bad, who would you want to call first? I'm praying, even today I pray, I would want to be the first person they call. If God forbid they found themselves in a ditch, if God forbid they found themselves pregnant, I would not want them to go for abortion first before they tell me. That is my prayer as a parent. I hope that is every parent's prayer, that I will be their support system. And when they come, I'll not first bash them. Instead, first I'll receive them. There's a girl who came the other day to my office. She's 23. She was abused. She was raped by 8 men. And she got an STD. And she couldn't tell her mom. So she told me I couldn't tell my mom, because if I had told my mom, the first thing it would be a beating, judgment. My mom thinks she's perfect, and she doesn't even know that I know that my dad is cheating on her. Like, that girl has information, and so my mom thinks she's perfect. You know what she resolved to do after she got an STD? She went to Koinange and she started being a prostitute. That is when she started getting genital warts. And I told her, and we had a conversation of, do you think now this is a better solution? Can we talk to your mom? She's like, no, talk to my auntie. My auntie is better. My auntie is more, because my mom pretends to be very okay, and she doesn't even know what is happening. She doesn't know that I know that she's also cheating. A 23-year-old already knows so much, but the mom pretends to be perfect. So when the child feels like you're perfect, sometimes I even tell my daughter the mistakes I've made in life, so that she knows I'm not perfect. Because sometimes as parents, We pretend to be very perfect. We
even though
pretend
we
like
are not.
there's a I still again refer to movies because they teach me a lot. There's a series, the Big Bang
Sheldon.
Theory, the young Sheldon.
Yeah.
When Georgie asked the mom, they did the math and Sheldon says no. By the time mom was getting married, she was pregnant with you. And Georgie asked, so mom, you remember now Sheldon's mom is a Christian, a very serious Christian. And they say, no, we did the math. By the time you are getting married, you are pregnant with me.
So who is my father?
And then this boy now gives birth and the mother is scolding him and he says, no, even you were pregnant when I was, before you got married. Wow. So the perfection, the perfect parent. You don't know how many times I've had conversations with my daughter and I ask her, Mom, I talk about sex on social media. Are you embarrassed about it? And we've had to talk about this. We've had to talk about this. So I cannot pretend here at my daughter doesn't watch. I'm sure she okay.
And she knows.
Yes, and she watches.
And knows.
Let me be the person we have these conversations with.
I love that.
Yeah.
Thank you. I know there are going to be a lot of questions on the comment section. I know it's a conversation a lot of people have waited to hear, and I'm so happy they got to hear this from you. So I also can't wait to see what comes out of this or what's birthed from this conversation. I think we have already 2 upcoming ones that we just picked from here that we can be able to develop further.
Want sextiles?
Yeah, of course. Because they gotta know like sextiles, orgasms, and all these things. Like, again, it's not
for different body shapes.
For different body shapes. Maybe you are here thinking your body type is for this style. That's why it keeps backfiring. So many things. But allow me to let you go for now. I always appreciate you just coming through and being, our LNN resident coach on so many things. But so many questions also on my email. People have been trying to get hold of you, Carol, and some are not able to get hold of you. So could you tell them why and how now they can best be able to get hold of you?
It actually feels really bad when I'm not able to serve everyone. As we speak today, I think I'm officially fully booked until February as a person.
Yeah.
And I would want to make this play. I have a school and I have taught so many other people. Unfortunately, most of my clients want just me and me and me. In our midst now, I even have medical doctors who are under us, who have studied medicine and now has come into through our school, has done functional medicine. And I have Dr. Joanne, I have Bella, I have Milka, I have quite a number of people who I have trained and they are ready and willing to assist. So my plea is, because I'm not able to serve everyone in person as Carol, please accept to be served by my colleagues. So when you call the office and you're told that I'm not available, please see which of my colleagues is available. In Rongai, our Healing Rain Center, we have people who are, and we have even psychologists. We have other people who I trust, who I have trained, and they have gone through the training and they have been helping me with a lot of work. So please, if you can't see me in person, allow yourself to see someone else who I have trained.
I love that.
So I have a big team. Even this year, December 7th, I have a graduation. I have 54 graduates from different places in Africa. And so people are still learning and learning and learning. And so because I have human limitations. But I have my personal assistant. And when you get through to her and you are told I'm booked until February, if you can't wait, by the way, we have wonderful souls who've said, no, I'll wait. There are people who've waited from May to October. But now they are coming with good results. I'm so happy. Good. By the time they are watching, they were sick. Then they did what we say here. Then they come and tell me, I just came to say hi because now I'm healed. Now I'm healed. I'm hoping and I'm praying that next year I'll be able to do more conferences, to reach out to a bigger audience.
I love that.
That's what I'm planning to do. But now I have a big team. The call center is running working hours because, again, we have another problem of people calling at night in the middle of the night and they want an answer there and then. So I've really been working on that. But please, 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 if you can't get hold of me, if you can't see me in person, please see my colleagues.
Good.
They are also equally as trained.
Should I put the number here? Or
Yes,
do you want to
please.
say it?
Yes, please. Call us +254 711 621563. +254 711 621563. That's a call center. When you call during working hours, they'll pick. Even if you send a message, a text message. I know people in the diaspora, our timing differences are totally different.
Yeah.
Then drop a text message, then we can reach out to you. Also, you can write to us, info@rnb.co.ke. info@rnb.co.ke, or visit us in Thika. There's people who come to Thika, Hurlingham, Nairobi, CBD, different places to just come and meet us. And we thank God for that.
Good.
Yes.
I love the expansion. I love the growth.
Yes.
I can't blame my people if they want to be attended by you, but I know they also understand the importance of delegation so that we can also give you as much time to be a parent, to look this beautiful.
And to be a partner.
Hey, guys, it's a wrap for this conversation, honestly. The only thing I have not seen here is this slime girl. So get it and be slime. This, I think, was mine. Takum Herbal
Takum is
Honey.
for men.
This is wait, what? This is for men.
It's a natural
To do what?
enhancer, male vitality.
Hey, we are sorry. Me and Scholar, we are going to be enjoying this one.
This is for men.
Strawberry.
Strawberry lubricant.
This is for women, right?
Yes.
This is for women.
For if men and women can use the lubricant.
I know that by the look of it.
Happy
vagina
oil.
Yeah, oil. But again, guys, as I'm saying, I don't know why people are laughing. Like, I know you will all be asking for these lubricants on the side.
I know
the men here will ask for this honey on the side. So Muga, Sam, Joshua, Edwin decide.
This one is not for young men. It will take you. This one. Hey. This one.
What's the age limit?
40 and above.
Okay.
It's a strong one.
If you're not 40, don't be asking for this one.
For the Takum.
Don't asking for the Takum. But I love these conversations. Remember, guys, the intention with this platform has been from the word go to learn and relearn. I love that we are having very thought-provoking conversations. And I hope you also get to give us that feedback on the comment section. If you don't know by now, you know I develop these topics based on the feedback that you give us on the comment section. And I hope you've learned something, you've picked something. Thank you so much for tuning in. And of course, for Semabox for giving us this incredible space. That's something I don't take for granted. And the wonderful team that came through for the filming of this episode, I don't take that for granted either. If there's something you want to say and you can't say it publicly on the comment section, our email is very much open to you, info@lnn.digital. You can be able to find me there. And if you're looking for Carol, once again, her contact details are on the screen. This side of the screen, that's where her contact details are. And this here, you'll be able to find our email address. I gotta go, but I can't do that without thanking our amazing partners of today's conversation. Thank you so much, Tap Tap Send, for coming through. So in case you are watching this from diaspora and you're looking into sending money to your loved ones back at home with people who have great rates, they are fast, they are very reliable, why don't you try Tap Tap? And if you use my promo code LEAD, you'll be able to get a bonus on the numbers that are appearing on your screen right now. How about I see you guys tomorrow? You know the time, either 7 p.m. or 10 a.m. But I gotta say, we've not uploaded a video at 10 a.m. for a long time. So hopefully I see you again tomorrow at 7 p.m. Bye-bye.